What's up? What's up? I finally read my second Keizo Miyanishi work. It's been a very long time since I've read anything from Miyanishi, and this specific tankobon here is titled Golden Bride by, well, of course, Miyanishi. They've translated it here as Golden Mary. Oh, not Mary, Marry. But here the actual kanji translates to Golden Bride. So this is a short story collection, I believe, published in either 1981 or 1982. And as you can see there, I've bookmarked quite a number of different things because Miyanishi does a lot of erotic works, and a lot of this book I cannot show on YouTube. So I'll be doing my best to show as much as I can um, from this book without getting kicked off or anything like that. But let's just get started. Firstly, an interesting one too. This is not a signature, by the way. This might be like someone's name, not too entirely sure, but I'll open up under the cover. This is what it looks like. And these are the stories, quite a number of stories. It's got a lot of these stories are a couple of pages as well, so a lot to go through. But here is a fold out page. Maybe I'll turn the lights off for a bit. There you go. Yeah, that's better. Fold out page on the inside. Pretty cool. And it's white on the back. And this first story is called Afternoon Gathering. And it's a very short story, just like a couple of pages. But it's sort of using, I believe, a kind of like a metaphor thing of a girl eating a moon from another man. So this moon right here. And it is a very short one. It's more of like I see it as being just a little sort of vignette thing um, of, it is poetic, but there's not too much in terms of a plot in this first story here. But I cannot show the next couple of stories, unfortunately, because they are all quite risque. So I'll move on to this second story, which is titled Brain Sick. I can't show you the title page because it is also risque as well. But essentially, we have this woman here. Her name is Lulu, and her lover, who was named Jet, had died from being killed by this sort of white devil creature, demon, something like that. So this is her grieving at Jet's grave. And here is Jet on the right. And what happens is on the bottom, a sort of weird goo starts to, or a slime starts to surface and calls out Lulu's name. And what that is actually Jet. He's sort of been reincarnated as this slime or goo, and it enters her, and they sort of become one, him and Lulu. And so here it is, that's their transformation. This is what the combination of Lulu and Jet look like. And what happens is that they go and defeat this white devil. I'm not entirely sure what this devil thing is. Could be representative of something, but I couldn't really figure it out. So I'll just call it the white devil for now. And here they are sort of transforming, and try not to show too much of that. They sort of conquer the white devil, and I guess it allows them to defeat them. I'm not sure why, but that's that story there. I apologize as well. I'll have to. I'm just like trying to figure out what I can show from the story, so there might be no book on screen for a little bit. All right. This next story is called Moon Garden. And just a heads up, a lot of these stories have their little title pages with their um, cover pages of art, but most of them do have nudity in them, so I can't really show. And this story, Moon Garden, is about a woman who can't forget the love of her life who had passed away. And so here is this woman here at home eating and remembering her lover. I can't show that there, but I'll flip over to here. Miyanishi's art is amazing, especially the lips. He likes to put a lot of detail into the lips of his characters. And you can sort of see, well, this raven has died in front of her, and you can see her sort of losing it because she misses her lover. Very somber tone. And the last page of this is in very, I think one of the best artworks in the book, sort of unraveling of the head into not not flowers, but it's like some sort of organ of sorts. It's an amazing little section there, and we get a close-up version of that on the right. But insane stuff. Keizo, Miyanishi has done a lot of different works, but again, I have showed off, I believe, 2 Miyanishi works so far, and they are difficult to find. I think I'm missing a couple still, but this next story is titled Angel Hill. It's quite a brutal story, actually, about a woman over here who has had her fiance killed because her parents did not approve of him being her fiance. So this is them dragging him off. It's very sad. It's very violent as well. Is the father taking the fiance, and he is sort of tied up here. Oh, my mistake. Actually, he wasn't killed. Well, he was beaten up to the point where he's now just like in a vegetative state, that sort of thing. And I can't show the next couple of pages, but what happens is he comes back as like a demon sort of thing, like another creature, and he's revived in that sense, but it's still quite a sad story of a girl, wanting to be with her lover, but having it taken away by her own family. So it's quite tragic. And actually, a lot of these stories by Miyanishi do focus on very tragic stories between lovers, very dramatic stories that showcase a lot of violence sometimes as well. Some of it is, well, actually, all of it is based on desire, human desire for love, for pleasure, that sort of thing. And this next one here is titled Blue Summer. There's a more simple story of a high school girl going out with this older man, and it's pretty much just like an outing or an adventure for them, which gets a bit sexual, but has a very interesting end to it. They drive the car off the cliff. I don't know if it's on purpose or not. You see the car flying out and them having a good laugh about it. A sort of thrill for them. So that was interesting. And yeah, a lot of Miyanishi stories can be a little bit hard to understand sometimes. This story is titled Green Tunic, but I have no idea what um, No idea what the meaning of this story is at all. So I'll just be showing off the amazing art instead. Whoop. I might have to like censor some of this in post because just a flick of the page and I can accidentally show something pretty bad for YouTube. So I'll just edit it later. Okay, next story is called The 5-Day Story, and it's set in like a small feudal Japan. It's a revenge story, pretty much, and it's following like 2 samurai, and again, it gets a bit sexual, but pretty much we have a big bloody murder that ends in a very very what's the word, confronting scene. So I will have to blur a lot of this out because I can't seem to avoid all the nudity and the sex and the gore. So it's going to be a tough one to showcase. It might be a little bit annoying for you guys, but I still do want to show off Miyanishi because of how amazing his art is. It's like one of a kind. It's hard to find for a reason. I feel like his fans are quite diehard. So this next story here is what's it called? Brunswick Venus. No idea what that means, but it's like a couple of pages of a woman cutting someone, sort of looking at that desire of pain or inflicting suffering, something like that. Okay, next one. The Cry of Sexual Spring is the name of this story. And a woman here finds her lover, her boyfriend, sleeping with another person, and she goes ahead and bashes him with a bottle because she feels quite betrayed. We see the glass here, we see her pain. This little panel here reminds me of Hayashi Seiichi a bit because of like the simple sort of brush strokes on the face. This one definitely does remind me of Hayashi a lot. Yeah, alright, so next couple of stories I cannot show because they are... Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. Just give me 1 second. There's so much I can't show. Even my bookmarks are... Oh, it's tough. It's tough, but whatever. Let's go with it. Okay. So this next one is the title, the titular story, Golden Mary. And it's a weird one. So Mary, she gets captured by this flying monster, very phallic one, and she gets transformed into a deity of sorts. So this is her, and these deities attack those in love, and Mary sort of doesn't like this, and she decides to fight back against these deities and saves a couple who's being attacked by one of these phallic monsters. Super weird one, but very interesting to just experience nonetheless. Very flashy. Oh, I don't know how he came up with this, Miyanishi, but sure, man. All right, we're nearing the end of the book because a lot of the end stories I can't show either. So I will just mainly flick through the remaining art of the last story, which I didn't really understand too much, but it's called Love Colored Electrode. I couldn't really make sense of the story, unfortunately. So I apologize. I can't really explain the plot of the story, but that's okay because the art is always amazing. I really do want to show off like the full, the full book, but on YouTube it's pretty restrictive. Can't really do so, but I'll try my best with that. And any other books in the future that are more risque. So yeah, that was the end of The Golden Bride by Keizo Miyanishi. A ton of different short stories in this one. And Keizo Comics is the publisher of this. They've done a lot of other works by, they've published like Hiromi Haraguchi, Sachi Michio, um, who else? Ishikawa Jun. Can't read the rest of them, but they've done a bunch of stuff in terms of publishing, and but yeah, so that was Golden Bride by Miyanishi. I actually really like this one. I've read Esther and Golden Bride. They are actually very different. There are some similarities in terms of the stories and how they're told, but between the two short story collections, Golden Bride, I feel is more plot driven compared to Esther. Esther was very, it was more just like a visual experience than anything. A lot of amazing artwork, but it was hard to follow the plot sometimes of some of the stories in Esther. But Golden Bride definitely was easier to follow. But even then, like even as I say that, a lot of these stories still were quite confusing. I guess it's kind of like a trademark for Miyanishi. The flow of his stories are different to those of traditional stories, but it's still an amazing time to just go through, flick through his books, and just experience his art and storytelling. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you guys in the next one. Bye.